Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adeteniola Olorunfemi. Now today we're going to be discussing on personal branding. We're going to be talking all about personal branding. You know, what is personal branding? Why is personal branding important? You know, also how to build a sustainable personal brand. Now, if that sounds like what you're interested in knowing, you definitely need to keep on watching. Stay tuned. So guys, today with me I have Adeteniola Olorunfemi. She's a very beautiful friend of mine and she's going to be telling us all about personal branding. Adeteniola Olorunfemi is an HR associate. She is an employability skill trainer and she's also a personal brand strategist. Oh, alright, I know. To the first question, TENI, tell us, what is personal branding?
Simply put, by Amazon, personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And you know, that's from people's perspective. So for you, what does personal brand really mean? It means how you show up in the world, basically your personalities, your values, and your visions, right? And as we talk about brand for products, for services, and you know how Jumia has its brand, you know how Close Up has its brand, and every other thing. People have their own brand. People are the walking billboards or signboards right now, and the different things that makes a brand authentic or sustainable. Number one, what's the factor of differentiation? What makes you different? Another thing is, how aware are people about you? I mean, that's the whole point of personal brand. People must know you for what you do, the service you offer, or what you stand for, depending on what you want to, make known. I mean, aren't you aware of Lasisi Eleno? You know him. You know how we communicate. You know when he's the one talking. You know the filter he usually uses. You know, even though it's not his own filter, but you know him. Right.
That's true.
Right. And then perceived quality of content. I mean, that also talks about your personal brand. So it's in all dimensions. People tend to perceive whether you're thorough with your work, what values you have, and the quality of your content. Basically, I mean, totally almost off point. But Adara Lumina, I don't know if you know her. She's a creative. She's on Instagram. She was talking about how creatives start out with good content, and towards after a while they start to relax, and it's very obvious. But no, when you're building an intentional personal brand, a sustainable one at that, you have to put your quality of content is what differentiates you. Another thing is brand association. Who are you associated with? Who are you associated with? What do you work for? Yes, who do you work for matters. Who do you work for? Who are your friends, your industry friends? Who knows you, basically? Like yes, so it's one thing for you to know people. I mean, but your personal brand is who knows this girl, who relates with this girl, and you would and brand loyalty, please.
You would agree with me that was brilliant. I mean, I can totally see personal brand in a new light. Okay, so tell us, TENI, why is personal brand, important? What do we stand to gain from branding ourselves personally?
So much to gain from having a personal brand. So number one, opportunities. Like from a personal standpoint, for me, because of how much people know what I'm interested in, they know I'm interested in HR, in employability skills, in programs, leadership programs, and different kind of things, life coaching. Opportunities just come and meet me. I mean, a good example is that I'm on Tomike's channel at the moment. Yes, and for what? Personal branding. I mean, it's because I have taken time to, build my personal brand. Then another thing is, people trust you. People have deals. Stop saying there's no money. People have deals. People have things to do, but they need people that they trust. And you have to have built this trust over time. And that is why you need to be out there, right? And serving the world in the way that you know how to best. Another thing is faster goals. You achieve your goals faster. That's if you have one. So if you have a goal, like a career goal, promotions and all those, coming to whatever platform for career, that's LinkedIn, to, you know, talk about your value. People see that you're a person of value, and I mean, you can easily achieve your goals from there. And again, because you are googled, my brothers, my sisters, you are googled. Yeah, so you go for an interview, you're googled. You want to be collaborated with, you're googled. Every single thing, you're googled. And remember that no publicity is bad publicity.
Something keeps ringing in my head, and that is the fact that no publicity is bad publicity. The fact that you actually have to, you know, represent something. Each and every one of us, we are a representation of something, good or bad. You know, people want to know what you represent actually. So, and I think personal branding is what you represent. For me, I don't know. So the next question is how to build a sustainable personal brand. So TENI, tell us please, how do we build a sustainable personal brand?
The keyword is sustainable, because there's a difference between noise and personal brand. You know, if there is no goal or aim or strategy for whatever you're doing, then I mean, you are just coasting along. I mean, and I'm not saying that it's so wrong for you not to have like well thought out goals and strategies at the beginning, because most people start out that way. But thing is that you should not continue that way, because you get tired and you start saying, people are not reading my posts, people are not watching my videos. But I mean, you have to be intentional and know exactly what you are, you know, aiming for. So how to develop a sustainable personal brand? Number one, access yourself. Are you authentic? What are your values? What are the things you like to put out? You know, for you to have a personal brand, you have to know what you want to put out first of all. Then you also have to know your audience. If your audience is on Instagram, don't go and look for them on LinkedIn. If your audience is on Twitter, don't go and look for them on maybe LinkedIn again, right? So please, that's one thing. Another thing is to be omnipresent. So in all social media accounts, major social media accounts that will help your career or help your business or help your creativity, you should be at some level, you should be present there. So I'm not saying that you should always show up there. I'm just saying that you should have maybe a complete bio. For example, you should have a complete bio, and so that people can know that, okay, when they search you, yes, this is how you're going to show up in the world. So you have to determine what makes you unique. What makes me unique is a question you have to ask yourself. You have to do that. Another mistake that I know that people make this mistake a lot, and that is not pitching yourself. You have to pitch yourself. Collaborate, because it's not a competition, right? It is, everybody has in their own right are authentic in their own way. There you need to pitch yourself. So for the longest time possible, I was guilty. But thing is, you don't have to sit down and wait for opportunities to fall on your lap. You go for them, right? And then be of value. Always be a person of value. Once you are out there or trying to build your personal brand, what value comes from building your personal brand? I mean, for example, for me, I can say that LinkedIn is my major platform. And what comes out from that for me is that people know that they can get opportunities from there. They can get tips to move their career forward, you know, personal branding tips and all that. So another way you can improve your personal brand is to teach what you do. No matter how little what you do is, you can teach it to someone else. Another very important thing is for you to have a strategy. Please have a strategy. Are you trying to make sales? Are you trying to run for a position? That means, are you trying to maybe go for 2023 election? So what exactly are you doing? And you have to, please, once you're building a personal brand, make sure that what you say is the truth, because trust is the basis of personal branding. So the thing is, Are you offline what you say you are online? So we want to know, and people will definitely drag you if you are not what you promised. A brand has a promise and it keeps its promise. Coca-Cola promises you that you'll be refreshed and it keeps its promise. So you have to be sure of what you want.
So my last question is for multi-dimensional people. Multi-dimensional people. By multi-dimensional people, I mean that, people who are either professionals and creatives. Are you a creative person and also a professional person? Do you have businesses and also do you work in an office? Now, for those kind of people, how do you brand yourself?
As a multidimensional person, number one, know your audience. You can have different skills and you say, after all of them is me. I am Adeteniola Olorunfemi. I sing, I dance, I write, I'm too much. But the thing is, where are your skills needed? And who needs to know about your skills? And where are your audience? Basically. So if you're doing a dance video consistently on LinkedIn, I'm sure you can only get some claps, some ales, some boos, but you would never really land a client because people that are dancing are not there. So you have to know your audience, and then you have to have somewhere that I remember this. You have to have somewhere where everybody knows who you are. So that's why a website is very important. If you can afford to build one, and if you know that your personal brand has grown to that point, and if you know that you're ripe for a website, why not? It's a very good way for you to it's a very good way for you to engage people and also make you optimize you for the search engine. So I'm saying that when you're being for multidimensional people, number one, you have a platform that houses everything that they can just click a link. So, and I know that Disha does a good job now, Disha pages, and then you can just build a website. And then for you to engage people as a multidimensional person, you can also go ahead and do newsletters where you send people newsletters into their email box, where people that actually need your service or like what you do can actually just get it firsthand. Then you can also leverage platforms. Use whatever the platform is meant for. So if wherever your audience is, that's where you should engage people. You should have a free service basically that you can give people to use, and also leverage on your content creation skills. Learn how to design a banner, basic things, and do not wait for perfection. You have to just start with what you have, because perfection just keeps saying come. Perfection, you're like, okay, I want to be perfect. You keep doing before you know it, you've lost momentum. You should try and do what you can do while you can still do it. Remember, you're building your personal brand whether or not you are being deliberate. So I hope you've learned one or two things from this session, and I would really love to hear your feedback. I know Tomike has a way to make me get your feedback. What did you learn, and what can you put to use in your personal brand? Remember that no publicity is bad publicity. Yes, and you have to be known for something, because then and only then do you make the world a better place.
So remember that no publicity is bad publicity, and you have to represent something. You have to be a representation of something, and only then can you make the world a better place. Thank you so much, TENI. Thank you so much. We've really had a nice time today on this episode of the Immaculate Gist. If it's your first time here, thank you so much. Welcome to the family. Do not forget to subscribe, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. And if you are returning also, thank you so much, baby. I love you. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and let me know down in the comment section. Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I remain Adeteniola Olorunfemi. Love you. Mwah. Bye.